Who are you? Who are you? And what are the things that drive you? What are the things that make you who you are? Most importantly, are you living the life that you deserve? Are you living in your highest life path? Stepping into that hero's journey. Because the truth is, we are all on a hero's journey. But only if we make that decision and we step into that. Otherwise, all we're going to be is cogs in a machine, just spinning, constantly spinning in a repetitive cycle, never actually getting anywhere. But if you want to take that leap and you would like to step in to that fire and become the hero of your own story, then stick with me, because I will help you to step into that in your own life. I'm Cody, and I help people to activate their divine consciousness codes that will ignite their heart ablaze and open the door to limitless possibilities. So what is a hero? What does it take to be a hero? As I've gotten older, and even when I was a kid, I got really into anime, especially, Dragon Ball Z when I was young. It was the main one that I watched, and as I've gotten older, I've gotten really inspired by the stories of these characters in these animes and their development as they progress through their own hero's journey, as they continue to evolve and overcome challenges after challenges after challenges, to step into who they knew that they could be, to step into that version of themselves that is in alignment with their highest life path. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be that type of hero where you have to go out and save the world. But what I am saying is that your gift is the medicine that this world needs. And whenever you embark upon your hero's journey, you will discover what that medicine is. Because every step along the way is going to show you a different aspect. It's going to teach you something different, something that you need in order to create and build and develop the character within yourself, to be able to step into that hero, to be able to step into that hero role and that leadership, so that you can take back your life and start to live from your highest purpose. Once you step into this path, you start to live from your heart. You start to allow your heart to guide you wherever you need to go. And that will become your compass, for which you will be able to discover who you truly are. Everything that you do becomes a part of the development of this hero, of this character within you. Once you become intentional and you set that vision for yourself of what it is that you truly want, and you set your sights on that vision, you begin to take it one step at a time. You begin to develop and mold yourself in a way that will allow you to align with that life. As I've studied all the various animes and observed what it takes to be a great hero, I've learned a lot of key insights from animes like Hero Academy, Dragon Ball Z, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, those are the main ones that I've really been drawn to. There's a lot of other really good ones as well that I've watched, but those are the main ones. Upon studying these characters and observing what it takes for them to step into that within their own life, I got to see the development and their origin story as it unfolded and begin to reveal to themselves who they truly were. They didn't begin as that all great powerful hero that could save everybody. They started out, most of them, small or weak, and they had to build themselves up. They had to mold themselves to be able to hold this energy, this vibration within themselves, to be that hero. And as we continue to take one step at a time in the direction that we truly wish to go, in the direction of our vision, we begin to build confidence in ourselves. We begin to shift how we see ourselves. And those tiny micro shifts add up over time. Every action that you take, every decision that you make becomes something that will add or take away from that character development, from building that hero that you truly are. And the only way for us to step into that is to step into ourselves. And most importantly, to face our fears. Because your deepest fear is where your greatest gift lies. As Joseph Campbell says, the cave we fear to enter holds the treasure that we seek. Once you embark upon this journey and you make that decision and you say, I will get there no matter what happens. I will do whatever it takes to step into this path, to step into this new life, this new you. Things begin to unravel and unfold, not only within you, but within your life. Opportunities start to manifest. You start to see all these synchronicities. You start to meet the right people. You find yourself in the right place at the right time. And you start to attract and create this dream life. But it's not going to come all at once. I wanted to just touch on what are some of the qualities of what it takes to be a hero. Because through this hero's journey, I realized the importance of being able to hold myself within this framework and to hold myself strong in these values, to be able to step into that character that I wanted to become so that I could become that hero within my own story. So I'm just going to list off a few. First of all, there are normally keen problem solvers. If you notice, they have this way about them of just resiliency, to be able to push through and find a solution no matter what the circumstances are, no matter how great the obstacles or how strong the villains. They always find a way to overcome that and to push through and persevere and find that solution. They are driven by their instinct and their intuition. So they don't even have to think about decisions at times. They just jump into it because their body and their soul knows what they need to do. And they have learned and attuned themselves to that frequency so that they can allow themselves to flow into that naturally, to the point they don't even have to think about it. The next one is a deep desire to help others. If you notice, every hero has this foundational principle of wanting to help make the world a better place, or to help rid the world of evil, or to help invent something that will change people's lives. or to just be a safe space for people to heal. What's important here is to be of service, because I feel like so many of us get stuck in the trap of just serving ourselves. In this three-dimensional matrix reality, we are so accustomed to only doing what we want to do. The next one is being a glitch in the matrix, being an anomaly, where if that person wasn't in that situation, then it would have transpired much differently. It's like these people come along and completely shifts everyone's perspective. And it's like they are this bridge that brings people together. Somehow they have this way about them of being able to communicate and to be that bridge, to bridge that gap between various different types of people, or to bridge that gap and to be able to help bring groups or organizations together, or to just create something new, something powerful and unified. They're also a strong emotional support for others. They're always showing up for people and being that backbone, being that leader. That's what's most important, is to step into that leadership role. Because so many people in this world are followers, and they're looking for people to show them the way. They're looking for people to be that light. And when we learn to step into our gifts, step into our medicine, we will begin to shine that light for others as well. And I believe that is the ultimate goal, is to get back to being of service. Because we have these gifts, not for ourselves, but for the world, for the people around you, for the people that you love. Your gift is not for you. Your gift is for the world. And the only way that you can give that gift to the world is to step into your hero's journey and to pursue that. To pursue your highest life path. Because along the way, along that pilgrimage, you are going to gather pieces of yourself, gather pieces of the puzzle that will allow you to understand and to see what that medicine is, what that gift is within you. It will give you the tools and the perspectives and the experiences that you need to be able to step into that. As you go through this pilgrimage and you venture on your journey, you're going to uncover various pieces of the puzzle. And you will know it when you see it. You will feel it within your heart. When you find something that you know your soul or your heart is looking for, it will light you up like never before, like nothing else ever has. For me, it was the decision to go to Egypt. I decided. It wasn't even a decision necessarily on my part. It was a calling. I felt it in my stomach. I felt it in my entire body. Just wash over me. And I knew when I felt that this is what I have been striving for and working towards my entire life. And I knew that I would have to make a pilgrimage. I would have to go on a solo journey to venture out into the world and travel somewhere distant, to help me remember who I am. But the only way that I could get there is taking steps in my daily life. I couldn't just take that leap all at once. And it wasn't even a conscious thought that came into my mind. It was like, it wasn't even a thought. It was like a feeling. It was like an entire body download. Like, I just felt it in my soul. Like, this is it. This is what my soul was calling me to do this whole time. And this whole journey of my life has been building up to this moment. And what it took for me to get there was to go through a series of trials and tribulations. And most importantly, I had to go through my own dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul is basically where everything collapses in your life and you're left with nothing. You're left with an old identity that you don't even recognize, where your entire life gets turned upside down. You don't even know who you are. I know when it happened to me, I could hardly look myself in the mirror. It was like I didn't recognize the person that I thought I was. It flipped everything for me. And I had to learn how to see things in my life and reevaluate what's truly important to me. I had to step into that discomfort, into that fear. I had to truly feel it and be with it. And be with my inner child. To listen to what my soul was telling me, to what my inner child was telling me, to what my body was telling me. I've had to take massive steps to get here. I've I've been through so many various aspects, and I've changed so many times throughout my life. I guess in a way I just needed to explore different areas and different ventures, different jobs, different places, different people. My soul needed that. Everybody's different. But I knew, ever since I was a kid, that this is where I was being called to, that there was something higher and much bigger than myself that I was working towards. When I got that calling to go to Egypt, I knew that was it. That is what I had been feeling. And that's just the beginning. When I went through my dark night of the soul, what ultimately led up to that, I was in a relationship with my divine feminine partner, or my ex-divine feminine partner. She really helped to open me up and help me see the things that no one else could help me see, the things that I couldn't even see for myself. I had all these blocks. I had done years and years of healing, trauma release, going to therapy. I was working on stepping into the realm of life coaching and exploring, that whole realm of possibilities and options, and just trying to understand why I was the way that I was, and to allow myself to heal, because I knew that I had things that were still holding me back. And even through years and years of healing, I found myself still hiding, still feeling like I wasn't being real with myself. Like I was faking. Like I didn't feel like I was who I said I was. I didn't feel like I was stepping into that the way that I portrayed. Once my ex-partner came along, she showed me all the ways in which I was hiding. She made me be accountable for the things that I had done, the things that I'd said. And most importantly, she reflected back to me those inner child woundings that I never healed because I couldn't see it. It's like parts of ourselves get locked away as we grow up. Because so many of us lose that innocence that we have as kids. We lose that innocence because of the world and what we have to go through. We lose that spark, that magic that makes us who we are. And the tipping point for me, where everything got flipped upside down, I was driving about an hour and a half. I had my partner's food stamps card, and I was getting groceries for her and the boys, her 2 sons. My car, at the time, the transmission was going out. Or something. I don't know exactly what was wrong with it. I never did get it looked at because I didn't have the money. But so what I did, I stocked up on groceries because she didn't have a car. She had gotten into a wreck. It was like these series of cascading events that caused us to. It was like we brought so much to the surface in each other that was hidden underneath, that it just continued to reflect back and reverberate, and it didn't allow for us to have that space to integrate or to truly understand what was really happening. And throughout this whole process of this relationship, I was experiencing this myself, and I didn't understand. There were so many things that I had never felt before, that I'd never seen before, that I'd never experienced. And so I was driving to her to give the groceries, to deliver the groceries and see her, because I hadn't seen her in a week or two. And I had to take all back roads because I couldn't go over 25 miles an hour because of my transmission. And on the way there, I was smoking weed, keeping me calm, because my car, it would stall out. It would literally stall out. If I'd go above 25, just lock up and like thump, and drop back down in speed. And I was kind of freaking out. I was trying to just keep myself calm. I'm like, okay, come on. I'm almost there. I was a half an hour away from her. Well, half an hour regular time, regular driving, but not half an hour in my car. It would have been more like an hour at least. And I'm about to go up this hill. Like I said, about 30 minutes away. And I smoked my bowl. And I literally just got done hitting it. And I look up. And there's flashing lights. I ended up going to jail that night. And I got out. I didn't even know where I was at, what city I was at, where my car was at, how I was going to get out, or what was going to happen. So as I sat there in the jail cell, I felt so angry and sad and depressed and frustrated and confused, and just all these emotions. I didn't even know what to think. I almost just had to laugh about it. I mean, maybe not at the time, but the next day when I got out, I laughed. So my sister calls me. I had no idea how she even found me. And apparently she'd called around, trying to find out like all the different jails in the area. So I got out, and I had court the next morning. So I got out the next day. And that whole day, I was stranded in this city. The city that I wasn't familiar with. And I had court the next day. after that, bright and early at 9 a.m. in that town. So I was about 40 minutes away from my partner, which would have been about a 40-minute drive, which would have been about an 11-hour walk, which I was willing to make that walk, no problem. I don't care. I would have made that trek. It would have been an interesting walk, an interesting journey. But the problem was that I had court the next day, bright and early. My family was about 4 to 5 hours away from me, so I was stranded in this town. And luckily, my sister sent me some money so that I could, get my essentials, buy a charger so I could charge my phone, all the stuff, food, of course. And I decided that I wasn't able to leave that town, and I wasn't about to spend money on a hotel, so I decided, fuck it, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm just going to sleep somewhere in town, and then come in the next day ready to go. So that's what I did. And I ended up sleeping in one of those sheds outside of Walmart, and it was like freaking 40 degrees. It was freezing my ass off. I had to go in. Luckily, they were open for whatever reason. They weren't supposed to be. They closed, or said they closed at 11. Their hours were till 11. And it was about 2 in the morning. I had court at 9. I was going to get up at like 5 or 6 and go to a coffee shop. So it was 2 in the morning. I was freezing my freaking ass off. I could not sleep to save my life. I was about to just say fuck it and just stand up and just keep myself warm, or just, I don't know, walk around town or something, just stay awake. So that's what I did. I got out. I started walking around, just kind of get some fresh air. And as I'm walking over, I see that Walmart is actually open. And it turns out they were doing construction or something. I don't know why they were open. By the grace of God, they were, because I was able to buy a $5 blanket, like a $6 jacket. So by the grace of God, I was able to get a little bit of sleep that night, or morning, I should say. So anyway, fast forward, made it through court, everything. Ended up moving back in with my family. And they were about 4 hours away from where I was at. Basically, my entire life, I lost my license, I lost my car, I lost my girlfriend, I lost the old life that I had, and that's not even including all the things that led up to that event. I lost my apartment, which I was staying in her apartment. For whatever reason, I got a text from my landlords. They were saying, like, 4 days before, I got a text saying that I needed to schedule my move-out date. I'm like, move out? What are you talking about? I'm not moving out. I thought they were talking about my neighbor, and they're like, oh, no, yeah, sorry, you got to go, pretty much. It's like, okay. Thanks, universe. So I got kicked out of my apartment, moved in with her. I moved to a city. I didn't know anybody, didn't have any work, nothing. And then I would commute back and forth between the two cities with her vehicle. My car I would leave in the old city that I was at. It was a blessing, because I realized not at that moment, but once I had the time and the chance to reflect and to see how everything and why everything unfolded the way that it did, I was able to see that the life that I had created, the life that I had been living, was based on a lie. It was created from a crumbling foundation. It wasn't sustainable. I was getting by, and I had work. I had friends that I would do construction work with, but it was like everything was just falling apart. Like I didn't have any work there at the end. I was doing DoorDash. Somehow my account got deactivated. She got in a wreck. Then I went to jail, lost my car, lost my license. Ended up moving back in with my family, like I said. So basically, everything that I had lost. except for the items. I took whatever I could. Of course, I had to leave a lot behind through all the various moves. But the point that I'm getting at here is that this journey led me to where I am today. And without that dark night of the soul, without that defining moment that showed me who I truly was, I wouldn't have been able to step into my hero journey and be the person that I know I'm capable of being. I wouldn't have had the capacity and the strength and the courage to step into that. Because once I was able to move back in with my dad and to begin to rebuild my life, I started to see who I truly was. And it forced me back to my roots, to heal that inner child wounding that I had and carried with me for so long. And in many ways, it was a big reason why I wasn't able to truly connect with my partner, because and she had her own inner child wounding too. So it was like our inner child woundings just reflected and bounced off of each other, and it created this ripple, this downward spiral that caused both of our lives to take a turn. Of course, she stayed at the apartment, and then she had her own trials and tribulations, but my life completely got, like the rug just completely got pulled out from underneath me, and I was forced to have to redefine the way that I saw my life, the way that I saw myself, and the way that I saw everyone around me, my family, my friends. It was like I started to question everything, and for months I was so depressed and anxious, and I felt like I couldn't do anything except like play games, and just it was like I didn't have the capacity to embark upon this new journey, this new life. Slowly over time, I gave myself that space to heal, and I started to set myself a little bit more of a routine. I would get up in the morning, I would read this book about Druidism, about the 21 Lessons of Merlin. It's a fantastic book, and delving into that book really helped me to expand and understand better how to step in to who I wanted to be and to reconnect with the natural world. And I began to continue to take steps forward till I got to the point where I was able to step into and invest in a coaching program with Aaron Dowdy and Victor Otto and Matt Schaefer, who are incredible coaches and have completely transformed. Their program has completely transformed how I see myself and my life. But having that structure is what I really needed, because I knew that I had to follow my calling. And right before I joined that program is when I got the calling to go to Egypt. So it was like I got the calling to go to Egypt, and then literally a couple weeks, a month at the most, they were launching their program. They were kicking off this launch, and I believe it was a week-long launch for the program. So of course I jumped on, I signed on, 5-day free launch program, and then I signed up for the actual program. But it was interesting because it gave me perspective that I'd never had before. This whole journey, this whole hero's journey that I was going on, it really caused me to redefine how I saw my life and myself, and to reevaluate my values, and to work backwards to rebuild that structure that I'd never truly had. I felt like I had healed so much, but sometimes all we need is the right individual, or the right person, or the right situation, or the right perspective to show us something new, to help us shift how we are perceiving our reality. Once you start to truly follow and step into your hero's journey, that is the moment where everything changes. I'm so grateful to have you here, my friends. It was a pleasure and an honor being here with you. If you're interested in being able to step into that fire to pursue your own hero's journey and to embark upon that pilgrimage within yourself, then I encourage you to check out the link below for coaching if you'd be interested, because I help people to truly step in and activate that fire within themselves so that they can be that beacon, be that light shining for others upon an endless sea of possibilities. So thank you so much. I'm grateful for each and every one of you being here on this pilgrimage with me. I hope that you have an amazing and wonderful rest of your day. Peace, love, namaste, my friends.